Why is it that real estate agents always seem like they're running around like chickens with their heads cut off? It's because they don't really have a plan of attack. They don't have a strategy. More importantly, they don't have a niche. Every real estate agent needs to have a niche. And the reason why they don't have a niche is because they're afraid to give up business before they're even getting business. That makes a lot of sense, but people shouldn't be too concerned about not getting business. If you're good at what you do, if you're honest, if you're hardworking, if you're a good people person, and if you're service oriented, you will get business. But what I tell my agents and recruits that I'm bringing into my company, what they need to do is they need to niche down into a specific type of buyer, location. There are many different categories we can talk about. For example, and everyone knows this is a very trite phrase I'm about to say, is if you're talking to everyone, you're really talking to no one. And that makes a lot of sense. Most real estate agents out there, all they're doing is they're promoting themselves. I've done this many sales. I'm the number one agent. I've done this. I've done that. It's all about you. It's not about the client. It's not about the future customer. It's not about the relationship. Things change really well for the better when you start doing stuff for others, being a giver, doing things for your potential clients, just adding value, doing things because it's the right thing to do, and sometimes even if it's the detriment to yourself. No one should have schmuck written on their forehead, right? You shouldn't fall into that trap, right? But you should do things for others, things that you think are going to add value and make sense. But getting back to niching down into a business, the reason that's important is because you get to talk to your future client. You get to put a set of information together so that you could explain to someone, whoever you're trying to attract or whoever you're trying to help, because everyone should have a certain avatar, call it, in mind that they're trying to help. And once you do that, you can talk to them by speaking to what the issues they're having in their life, like different pain points that they have. And you can call them out. And you guys will connect over that because you're going to be saying stuff that they're feeling. And that's the beauty of social media. You don't have to know everyone, right? The business that you get from knowing people, to me, is sort of gravy. It's the cherry on top. Like all that referral business, that should come in because you're a good person, people know you, and you give business to everyone. However, I'm a big believer in that you just don't give business to someone that you know because you know them, right? They have to have skill set. They have to be able to do X, Y, and Z, be athletic, right? And that person deserves to get business. But you don't give business to someone just because they're a relative or a friend and you don't want to disappoint them. That's a bad decision. You don't do those type of things. You hire the best person that you connect with that is going to meet your goals and objectives and execute a sale for you or execute a purchase. Again, coming back to the niche, you get to talk to that person or that couple or whatever, explain their situation ahead of time to them. You get to explain to them things that they're already feeling. Now, they may not be in the market in the moment, but it'll resonate with them and they'll be like, I like what this guy, I like what this lady is saying. I'm going to follow what she's doing. And I've always liked what she said, but now I'm sort of thinking about buying or selling. And let me see how this sort of shakes out. I'm sort of like pre-interviewing them without interviewing them in purpose. And that's the beauty of social media. Again, what I speak to my agents about, what I speak to all the recruits about is niching down, talking to your avatar, not only about the pains and the problems that they're having, but showing them solutions, explaining the solutions of what they need to do in the moment and over time in order to meet their goals and objectives by either buying or selling or whatever it is they want to do. Sometimes it's both at the same time. And then what you need to do is show them how the end result is going to be, what their situation is going to be like once they buy or sell. And you're doing this all through social media, through calling them, through writing them emails, talking to them, meeting with them over coffee. Most people think, want to buy or sell, you hire an agent, and that's it. That's the end of the relationship. Why is that? Everyone has a doctor, a variety of doctors. They have an attorney. They go to that attorney over and over and over again. They have a question. They go to the attorney. I have an issue with my house. I call the plumber. No one treats realtors that way. Most realtors don't allow themselves to be treated that way, right? They're just running around from person to person to person to person. They're not building the relationship. They're not maintaining the relationship. Again, great reason why social media is so important is it enables you on an ongoing basis to stay in touch with current clients, future clients, old friends, relatives, whatever it may be, similar to how I'm doing right now, right? This is going to be able to be used in a variety of fashions because of the way social media is handled. And if you're adept at using it or have relationships or resources to bring in people that can help you do that, it's a great way to communicate to people on a mass level. But again, and I want to keep coming back to this, niching down into who your avatar is. Who is it that you want to be speaking to, and consistently speak to them. Speak to that avatar and look to help and maybe get business from those people. It's okay if other people call into what we call the funnel, right? 80% of the time we should be getting business in our niche, and the other 20% of our time we get business from people that just come into our funnel, either through relationships or whatever. It's always good to turn away business that you don't think is appropriate for you, whether relationship-wise it don't merge. A lot of people will just take any business and they suffer the consequences along the way. Like, I just don't get along with this person. We're fighting all the time. They're not taking my advice. You have to learn how to say no to certain business or turn off certain business. You end up firing some of your clients, or maybe you would get fired by your clients if things aren't working out. But most people don't do that because they're afraid to lose business. There's a lot going on here in this conversation, right? Some of it really boils down to picking who you want to work with them every day, be a giver, do the things that you know they need, meet their goals and objectives, help them. And don't worry about a timeline. Like, not everything has to happen tomorrow. Like I was saying about the attorneys or the plumber or the electrician or whoever it may be, realtors should be on an ongoing basis. Even past clients, like after they close into something, you should stay in touch with them 6 months later. Make sure they got their documents on their UCC, the filing of their loan, that they're putting all that stuff away. You send them their closing estimates so they have all the numbers for when they file taxes. All of those type of things, we as realtors, that's part of our job. A lot of people don't do that because they feel like sale's over, close the book, and I'm moving on. Not really a great thing to do. And you shouldn't just do the things I'm describing for business, right? You should do them for the relationship and to help that person along the way. At some point, 6, 7, 10 years down the road, they're gonna be looking to sell, and the new realtor is gonna come up to them if you haven't been staying in touch with them and saying, well, where are your documents from your closing? And they're like, I don't know, I guess my attorney has it, or the broker. I haven't spoken to the broker in 4 years. That should never happen with any of your clients, right? This is part of maintaining relationships and being a good broker.